Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. This is Greg, and today is an exciting day because this arrived in the mail. This is the new flashlight coming from Wurkkos. Let's go check it out. So this is the new flashlight from Wurkkos, the TD02. This is in black with an SST40 emitter with a 6000 to 6500 Kelvin tint. Okay, this comes in a set, made in China. And full disclosure, this was sent to me by Wurkkos all the way to Canada for our review and unboxing. So this is the first time I'm seeing this with you. So this is an honest to goodness unboxing and review. So we're seeing this together. Okay, opening it up. So this is the documentation of the TD02. So it goes from an eco of 10 lumens all the way to turbo of 2000 lumens. So we see the rated run times. On turbo of 2000 lumens, it can run up to 2 hours with a distance or a throw of 254 meters. And all the way to the eco mode of 10 lumens, it has a runtime of 150 hours. Wow, with a distance of 17 meters. So for everyday tasks, even that eco mode or even the low mode of 100 lumens is pretty usable. Alright, so the beam angle is 26 degrees for throw, 126 degrees for flood. So it has a mix of throw and flood. And basically, this is an all-around EDC flashlight. Okay, so let's put the documentation aside for a moment. I'll put a link to the info in the description so you can just view it later on. So what else is in the box? So there's another piece of documentation. Thank you for choosing Wurkkos. This is the standard documentation to say that the flashlight already has a battery and you just need to take out the film from the back of the battery. It has a lanyard and extra O-rings. It comes with a USB-A to a USB-C charging cable without a brick, but you have those adapters lying around, probably around your house anyway. Okay, so this is a very welcome feature that this flashlight is already capable of using USB-C. So this is the flashlight with a bubble wrap bag. And basically, there's nothing else in the box aside from a thin piece of foam. So this is again a departure from the more recent releases of Wurkkos, wherein they have the O-light style of packaging. So let's see the flashlight itself. We see the very sharp, aggressive knurling. This gives you a really good grip on the body of the flashlight. So as you can see, the head and the tail tapers to the middle, where you have the pocket clip. So it's a one direction pocket clip, and it seems that there is no way of reversing the direction of the pocket clip. So there's only one mounting point for the pocket clip. Right there and then, I would have hoped that this is a deep carry pocket clip. I would have hoped that this bend went all the way to the top so that this can be carried in the pocket with not much of the tail cap protruding. But this is designed as a tactical EDC flashlight, so there is usually a large part of the back end of the flashlight protruding, so you can have a good purchase in pulling it out of your pocket. Well, it's just me. Maybe they can provide accessories or pocket clip options for their flashlights later on. Turning this around, we can see the USB-C port with a rubber boot. So this is something I had hoped Wurkkos would do away later on, because personally, I don't like rubber boots on the outside of my flashlight, because eventually this will wear out and allow moisture or even water directly or dust to get into this port. Or worse, this rubber boot can get pulled off and lost, and you have an exposed USB charging port. So I hope in the next versions of Wurkkos' flashlights, they can have the charging inside the body of the flashlight, maybe on battery, or in some way a hidden charging port. So one thing we would notice is that around this flashlight, there is no button. Okay? So the only activation button is at the back. So at the tail cap, you would see a lanyard hole or a pair of lanyard holes for the lanyard. Okay, just one side. The other side doesn't have any holes. But the tail cap is protruding to cover the tail switch. So this is something that I appreciate with Wurkkos. They really listened to the comments of the members in the Wurkkos forum, because we were concerned that the button would actually protrude past these prongs of the tail cap. So that would prevent tail standing of the flashlight. But now Wurkkos really listened to the comments and made sure that this flashlight would be able to tail stand. And being a tactical EDC light, the button is really tactile. You really feel and hear the positive click, and the prongs of the tail cap protect the button from accidental activation. Over at the front, so this is a single emitter. This is the SST40, and as we can see, this is a smooth and particularly deep reflector inside the head. The anodizing is really nice. It's very clean. There are no bumps or whatsoever. Looking at the size, let's compare it with other flashlights. So this Wurkkos TD02 is an 18650 light, and we'll look into the battery later on when we open it up. But just comparing it with one of my favorite lights, the Wurkkos TS21, we see that the TD02 is maybe a ½ inch longer than the TS21, although of course the diameter of the TS21 is much larger because this uses a 21700. But being an 18650, this TD02 gives a good positive grip, and it leaves you with maybe 3/4 to 1 inch beyond your hand for possible striking applications. And it keeps the head of the flashlight off of your hand when this flashlight gets hot due to prolonged use. As this is also an EDC flashlight, let's compare it to a more common EDC light. This is the Olight i5R. So this uses a 14500 or even a AA battery. So as you can see, this does not extend beyond my hand, unlike the TD02. Although what I like about the TD02 is that it does not have any sharp bezels around the head. This is the TS21 with a 21700. This is the TD02 with an 18650 and an Olight i5R with a 14500 or AA. So you can see that the TD02 sits nicely in the middle if you like this particular size of a flashlight. This is very pocketable, although as I said, there is a large protrusion of the tail cap beyond the pocket clip. But I'm sure you can find the pocket clip that can make this flashlight a deep carry. Alright? So let's open this up. So as I said, you have to remove that paper that's covering the battery because this ships with the battery. It's a very nice strong spring. There is no magnet because the tail switch is there. As a personal preference, I really don't like my flashlights to have magnets anyway, because my EDC flashlights sit beside my wallet or my ATM cards and I don't want the risk of demagnetizing my cards. So looking at the other end of this flashlight, so there's another spring on the inside. This is very, very nice. So as you can see, there's a spring at the tail cap and another spring inside towards the head of the flashlight. So because this is designed to be a tactical flashlight, the light is meant to absorb impacts when the flashlight hits something hard. So the battery is cradled by springs on both ends, because if there's no spring at the front end and you bang this flashlight into something hard, the momentum of the battery itself will crash into the board of the flashlight and possibly damage the electronics of the light itself. So having that spring helps dampen the vibration and absorbs the impact of the battery moving forward and prevents damage to the electronics of the flashlight. So this improves the impact resistance and drop protection of this flashlight. So looking at the battery, this is a Wurkkos battery. It's an 18650 lithium ion. Okay, it's 3000 milliampere hours. So I have very good experience using the Wurkkos in-house batteries. They have been very reliable, easy to charge, and last a long time before fully discharging. So they provide very good current to power the light. So let's see if we can open the head of the flashlight. And apparently we can. And because we can open the head, that will allow us to invert the body tube and allow the pocket clip to go on the other side. So that's why the pocket clip doesn't have an attachment on the other side, because you need to invert the body tube itself. Okay, but it would have been easier if there's another groove for the pocket clip, but that is the design of this particular flashlight. So one click turns it on, one click turns it off. There is no half click. So when you turn it on, you can half press and cycle through the different light intensities. So let's see the beam pattern. Okay, the beam pattern is pretty consistent throughout the different intensities. So you see the very focused hotspot with a good spill. Okay, that gives this flashlight a very good throw. So half pressing cycles the light into the different light intensities, but if you double click, it goes directly into strobe mode. And you can go back to cycling through the different intensities when you half press. And when you click, turns off, click, turns on. So walking at night. This is the lowest setting. This is the low. And as you can see, there's a very nice hot spot with a good amount of spill to light your way. This is medium. And this is high. And this is turbo. Okay, so pretty simple light, and this is a very refreshing development with all of the Anduril lights coming out with the very complicated user interface. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.